Siomra Beag.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Siomra Beag on this tiny room. I'm the Michael of Michaelandbenjaminspodcast, and I am joined by the man who was the target of the internet campaign Cancel Ben, hashtag Cancel Ben. It's Ben. Say hello, Ben.
It didn't work because networks don't listen to tiny people like you. They only listen to profit, and I'm very profitable.
Okay. It's thrown me completely. Do you want to do the theme music?
Theme music for the podcast. We don't actually have any theme music, but I hope someone will mix them up for us. I don't wanna name any names. Rachel, I hope it's Rachel.
Very good, still humorous. Ben, speaking of things which are to be cancelled,
Ooh.
A lot of things this week are to be cancelled.
Yes, there's much cancelling to be done.
Where we start? What's cancelled first?
Well, I suppose the most surprising cancellation is Swamp Thing, which was cancelled after only one bloody episode.
Is it surprising though, Ben?
No, not if you're a Michael and Benjamin's fan, where it was predicted by the Michael of Michael and Benjamin's podcast.
That is I.
More than 6 weeks ago?
Well, it was pretty obvious, wasn't it, Ben?
It was to you because you look at stats, numbers and things like that.
I love
and you
numbers,
pay
Ben.
attention to behind the scenes
Endgame
news.
still hasn't overtaken...
It's not going to.
It probably will around Christmas. One reissue. They reissue it, they'll get there.
What's a reissue?
Put it back in the cinema.
No.
Well, that's how Avatar got so high. Well, it's one of the reasons Avatar got so high. Yeah.
That's cheating.
Well, Avatar and Titanic both made a lot of their money on reissues.
No. Sneaky.
Very
Fucking
sneaky.
Jimmy C.
Look, Ben, it
Real
doesn't
bad
matter.
egg.
It doesn't matter anyway, does it? It's comparing apples and oranges when you can. What are we? We're talking about Swamp Thing.
It's an insane amount of money. Anyway, you love a behind the scenes thing, and you predicted it quite accurately there a couple of weeks ago. It's quite a bit of an outrage. There's a classic at this point, a classic internet petition.
Oh, very good.
Try and save it. It won't work.
No, Ben, did you hear that it was essentially a tax error,
No.
an accounting error?
Really?
They thought they were to get a grant of $40 million.
Oh.
They got a grant of $14 million.
But it's not the same.
No.
No.
And then they said, well, we won't make it then, because that's a lot of money in the difference, isn't it, really?
Yes.
And that's why they abruptly stopped production when they realised.
Oh, they didn't have enough money.
Well, it's all fictional money anyway, but
Yeah.
they're going to be in quite a lot of debt, and it'll probably never make back that amount of money.
No, not a chance.
Explains why it looked so good, though, for a TV show.
Yeah, for a TV show. Because they thought they had $40 million.
Because they spent $40 million, and they didn't have it, and now someone's going to have to pay that back.
Oh, that's not good for DC. DC can't really afford that.
Word on the street is DC are considering restructuring, cancelling their entire DC Universe streaming service.
Are they? Really? Oh, that's a shame.
And
Doom Patrol was the best thing to come out of it.
True that, Ben, true that. But possibly rebranding the whole thing under Warner Brothers streaming.
That makes me sad.
I can hear someone downstairs, Ben. Either my good lady friend has come home or we're being burgled.
I hope we're not being burgled.
I hope we're not being burgled.
A kind hello and a last message to Mick's good lady friend saying, we thought it was you.
We did. Look, Ben, everything valuable in this house is in this room, so we'll be fine.
He'll have to come in and then Mick will get to do a little flex.
What else is cancelled, bloody Ben?
Well, speaking of DC...
Do you care? Do you care that Swamp Thing is cancelled?
I didn't watch the first episode. I don't particularly care. I think it was a good experiment. I don't do horror. You know me.
Do you know who'll care?
Who?
Our Instagram friend, Roots of Swamp Thing.
Roots of Swamp Thing will be quite offended by this abrupt cancellation.
Yeah.
Blame the tax man.
Blame
the tax man.
accountant, I think.
Blame the accountant.
Always blame the accountant.
Always blame the accountant.
Not Tom Cruise, the other one, Ben Affleck.
We have created
Ben Affleck's the accountant.
The strange representation of autism in film that is Ben Affleck's accountant.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. The other thing that has been cancelled, Michael, in this rambly thing is Vertigo seems to be on the way out.
Possibly.
At DC Comics.
It's all a bit rumoury at the moment.
It's all a bit rumoury at the moment, but if you go by Bleeding Cool News, which
we don't, Benjamin.
because it's a garbage website filled with many pop-ups. Apparently, we are to bid farewell to Vertigo. Vertigo wins. We're all dizzy and we need to have a sit down.
Oh, very good. Ben, did you think of that the other day?
No, I thought of it there. So I'm quite happy.
That's all right.
Quite happy for a spur of the moment.
For a spur of the moment joke, it wasn't horrible. I mean, it wasn't good, but it wasn't horrible for...
I'm not here to make good jokes.
No, if you'd written it down and we're looking forward to saying it for a few days, it would have been very disappointing.
I'm afraid it's a spur of the moment.
What was I saying? Ben, will it matter? Will it make any difference to anyone's life?
No, because comic publishing is already in the toilet and it doesn't actually matter what comics do anymore. We're grand. We live in a post-caring society. It's fine.
Oh wow.
It's grand. Yeah, I'm having a dark day.
I've noticed that. What I was thinking with your Pierre Rondon T-shirt.
Pierre Cardin. First of all, just so we're clear.
What I was thinking was, Ben, does it matter which imprint publishes things anymore?
Not at all.
Because they'll just move the popular ones to mainstream DC, and
they've done that before. That's what happened to the Hellblazer series once it finished up at Vertigo. It's over in the main DC continuity because they fancied having a bit of John Constantine around the place. Doom Patrol was published under the Young Animal imprint that Gerard Way was helming.
Wildstorm was part of Image, then it was his own publisher, then it got absorbed by DC as an imprint, then it got absorbed by main DC, now it's back out as an imprint.
I think, it doesn't really matter at all. I suppose what's significant about Vertigo is that it was really the dawn of properly modern creator-owned comics, but as...
It's your favourite imprint, isn't it?
It is my favourite imprint, but as it mentioned, I dare say that Image has probably taken that place in my heart, and that's what they admit themselves. They can't compete with other creator-owned deals.
What's a Vertigo? Hellblazer?
Hellblazer, Swamp Thing was for a while. Sandman is the big...
Oh, Sandman.
Yeah, Sandman is the big one.
Oh, yeah.
They did a lot of those kind of dark, twisty-turny things for a while. Karen Berger had a great eye for talent.
Ben, the criminals are either coming towards us or my lady friend is outside. Hello, criminals! Criminals! Don't hurt us. Well, come on, try. Ben, what are we doing? Speaking of things which have been cancelled,
Michaelandbenjamin's podcast. You've done an attempted burglary.
Speaking of the Sandman, of course, famously written by Neil Gaiman.
Yes.
Like the TV show Good Omens.
Good Omens, which I watched in full. Not going to go down in history as one of the greatest TV shows of all time.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
What will though? Chernobyl.
Chernobyl will probably be up there for a while.
The Sopranos.
Game of Thrones for the sheer shittiness of it.
Oh, hey.
Towards the end there. Sopranos is, I think, still probably number one on most people's lists.
I don't know.
The Wire seems to have disappeared from most pub conversations I'm in.
True.
Where we get you haven't seen The Wire? Oh man, you have to see The Wire. Oh, The Wire.
This is why I don't go to the pub with you, Ben.
Terrible. Terrible time all around.
Insipid conversation.
But very good, very enjoyable. Excellent portrayal from Michael Sheen and David Tennant.
I'm Tony Blair. Very sorry. That one. Once we've got to get back to heaven, and then we'll stop. We've misplaced the Antichrist.
Yeah, that's actually spot on.
Oh, good, excellent,
spot on.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, it's a great show. For some reason, the budget seems to have been clipped a little early there towards the end from Amazon Prime. Blame the accountant. But it's
Ben Affleck's The Accountant.
It's good. I would have preferred to see
A Sexy Witch.
Oh, The Sexy Witch was great. No, that panned out great. That
good.
That was great.
You're all right, Ben.
Good job, her.
Right.
Look, we're just going to take a pause here. I'll check and see if there's any burglars. That's definitely what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything else. Checking on burglars.
And we're back. Ben looking surprisingly refreshed.
Yeah.
And quite relaxed. You look pretty relaxed
very
there,
loose.
Ben.
But Sexy Witch was great. Oh, wait, I'm going to have to go again now. Hang on. But I could have done with a lot more David Tennant, Michael Sheen. They were the best part about it. And I think that became very clear.
How many episodes were there?
It was an tight 8.
8 episodes, tight 8, a nice tight 8. And Satisfactory concluded.
Satisfactory concluded. It's a limited series. It's not coming back. It can't come back.
It's based on a novel, isn't it, Ben? You see?
It is based on a novel, you see, by Neil Gaiman.
Speaking of Neil Gaiman, but not Terry Pratchett, what words will we pronounce correctly this week? Who knows? American Gods, Ben. We kind of missed it there.
Yeah, we missed it completely.
We let it slip by us, even though we both thoroughly enjoyed season 1.
Yeah, I've been catching up.
Season 2, Ben, if you remember, which I assume you do, season 1 ended quite abruptly. It felt like a mid-season cliffhanger.
Yes.
How did season 2 follow that up, in your opinion, Ben?
Very well.
Oh, very
well.
good.
The aftermath is very strong. All the gods are scrambling on both sides. There's a bit of a kerfuffle. Oh, it's good. Look, it's excellent. It holds up to tone. Mad Sweeney, played by, I can't remember
that
his
guy
name.
from Argentina.
Yeah, that guy from Argentina.
Raul.
Great character. He's slowly becoming a much stronger character as the arcs go along. Shadow, I think, is still the most boring thing about it.
Isn't he supposed to be, though?
He's supposed to be. He's just a window.
He's the window or the anchor around which the whole thing just kind of revolves.
Yeah,
but even in the book, he wasn't that amazing.
He's not that well written as a character. The rest of them are incredible, and it's very fun to read. But Shadow is just meant to be a bit of an everyman. But it's good. They've taken a lot of liberties with the original story, I think, in a more logical sense. There's a lot of good stuff running through now. The Laura Moon, Shadow Moon arc is there's a lot of contemplation on what real love is.
What is
How
real
much do we
love,
lie
though,
to ourselves in a relationship? That seems to be the core theme of season 2.
Ben, as someone under 30, do you believe in love?
I want to know what love is, Michael.
You want to know what love is?
I want not you to
No,
show
don't
me.
show. I'm not gonna. Look, Ben, we're going to go there later, and you might feel uncomfortable.
Only if you put on a sexy witch costume.
Oh, madam. Ben, but what I really meant was, do you believe? If you do believe in love, do you believe in life after love?
Yeah.
You believe in love after love. That's my share. Let's stop that because people will stop listening.
Yeah, we've
Benjamin,
already stopped
look,
listening.
would you reckon? No, I haven't actually. Listenership is on a steady increase. Inexplicable, but I think it's just stick to itiveness. Benjamin, for some reason, people listen to this now. Benjamin, what was I saying? So you'd say watch an American Gods.
Yeah, get on it.
Get on it, give it a watch.
Great.
Ben, look, the biggest show in the world was back this week as well. Well, it's not the biggest show in the world, is it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The holding up a black mirror to society.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I was going to cry.
No, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't on this week due to the NBA finals.
Good, fuck them.
Your stick-to-itiveness in your hatred of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is bizarre.
Apparently it's causing a boost in listenership, so I'm going to stay with it.
Maybe that's what it is. We're on some Reddit page. Or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is shite. Thanks to or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is shite. You're one of our most supportive Reddits. A very non-vocal majority.
Oh, excellent.
What am I saying?
Yeah, Black Mirror's back, and you've bloody seen it, Michael.
I've watched all 3 episodes, Ben.
You've gone and thrown some eyeballs over it.
There will be some spoilers here. We're not going to spoil any specific twists.
No spoilers.
No, there will be spoilers. If you would rather just watch Black Mirror and not know at all what's going to happen, which is how I watched it, Ben.
Good.
To preface this, don't listen to this part. This will probably be about 10 minutes. There'll be a time code in the description.
You give yourself 10 minutes to review Black Mirror.
3 episodes.
Get out.
3 nearly feature-length episodes.
Get the fuck.
You get the you get out there and deal with those burglars. Let's see how you do.
Who are taking their sweet time.
Well, they're looking for
maybe
anything
they're
valuable.
listening. Maybe they're just outside the door. This is pretty good.
That's actually, I didn't know that about Swamp Thing.
It's an enjoyable insight. Can't wait to get my hands on those microphones. They sound expensive.
What are we doing? Oh yeah, that's true.
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror, yes, holding a Black Mirror to society. Ben, it's a 3-episode series.
Yeah.
2 American episodes and 1 English episode. You know what I'm saying?
So there's only 1 good episode in this season.
Unsurprisingly, Ben, the English episode is the lowest budget easily and probably the best.
Yeah.
And also the closest to real world.
Yeah, they seem to be straying a bit more these days.
Well, one of the main things you could say about it is there are a lot of celebrities in Black Mirror now.
Yeah, that doesn't need to be though.
No, there doesn't need to be.
That was never the point.
There's quite a bit of stunt casting. Ben, I've broken down the season into 3 episodes. We will discuss. I don't know what they're really called, but I will be calling them Video Games That Make You Gay.
Oh.
Irishman Hates Facebook, and Miley Cyrus.
With Andrew Scott.
Yes. Video Games Make You Gay is with the Falcon.
Anthony
Mackie.
Anthony Mackie, thank you.
And Black Manta.
I don't know his name. That's
no,
racist.
I don't know his name either. And
not Black Panther.
No, not Black Panther. Black Manta. Yeah, he was the neglectful dad in the film Us.
Oh.
And Pom Clementieff,
who is also known as Mantis.
Yeah, there's a lot of famous
Marvel
people.
Stunt casting.
Yeah, a lot of Marvel DC stunt casting in it. It's quite good.
What's it about?
It's about a virtual reality video game
that makes you gay
called Striking Vipers, which there was a video game in the 90s called Fighting Vipers, so I don't know if they even knew about that one.
I would imagine anyway. There's probably a nod there somewhere.
It's a bit of a treatise Ben on modern love and probably a bit of gender fluidity.
What is love?
No, not what is love.
Baby, don't hurt me.
Oh God.
Don't hurt me. No more.
That makes sense actually, because it's a fighting game, but then people... Let's just say, Ben, it's about a fighting game, a virtual reality fighting game.
That makes you gay.
Well, you can... let's just say this, Ben. You have full sensation of everything that happens in the game.
Oh.
In real life.
Oh.
Exactly. Exactly. You see what I'm saying, Ben?
I see what you're saying now.
What I'm saying, Ben, is you might, if you are a gentleman who's not comfortable in his sexuality, I wouldn't recommend watching it with a male friend.
Oh.
If you know what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah, it's quite good though. It harkens back to like the interesting what Black Mirror kind of was originally about how technology will change society and.
Not necessarily for the better, but also not necessarily in the worst possible way ever.
But this is the weakness of this episode. It's not necessarily for the better or necessarily for the worse. It's just a thing that happens, and the ending is a little bit non-eventful ending.
Lacks some teeth, so to speak.
Whereas Irishman Hates Facebook starts a bit slowly.
Slow burn.
It's one of those weird. There's a juxtaposition after watching Anthony Mackie and Pom Clementieff and Black Manta. And
did you watch them all at once?
I did.
Oh goodness!
And then,
Michael, you okay?
You're following Andrew Scott being mental in a taxi in an English field.
Yeah, I could take. Yeah.
There's a bit of stunt. So it's about a man who hates Facebook.
Yes, not a fan.
It's not called Facebook. It's called something else.
Not unlike myself.
And he kidnaps an intern from Facebook.
Oh no!
I can't remember what it's called. It's Smithereens. Crap name. But he kidnaps and he wants to talk to Mark Zuckerberg. But not Mark Zuckerberg.
Their version of Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Billy Benoit or something like that. Bit of stunt casting there. Who would you stunt cast as a
Mark Zuckerberg?
As a kind of as a kind of social media celebrity guru type of person. I think you're stunt casting.
Someone who's like popular right now, and
it's a bit of a twist. Well, it's not a bit of a twist.
Is it a woman?
No, it's a man.
Oh.
It's a man. Billy Boo Boos.
I'm definitely not going to get this.
No, you won't. I was a bit surprised, but then I was like, oh yeah. Your man, you know the guy, Eddie Brock.
Topher Grace.
Topher Grace. It's Topher Grace.
Weird Christian pastor.
It's always Topher Grace.
Paragon. Yeah.
Anyway,
in the weakest episode of Love, Death and Robots.
Yeah. Well, that's what he does now. He does surprise stunt casting in anthology series.
Bless him.
What Topher Grace is up to. But look, it's not an amazing episode, but Andrew Scott is excellent, and it's a real tour de force from Andrew Scott.
Well, he's great, isn't he?
He's very good.
He's very good. He's probably Ireland's best actor.
Irishman's to space.
Yeah, Irishman's the Sposs, Andrew Scott. Yeah, fair enough. And
it's fine. And the third episode is Miley Cyrus. It's Ben. Imagine if Miley Cyrus was a singer.
Okay.
And she lived a kind of artificial life where she was a happy-go-lucky pop star, and she was kind of forced into that by her management.
And then they made a Disney show out of it and made her star.
It's Hannah Montana, basically. It's Hannah Montana, but with it's a romp. This one's a romp with a very twee ending. A twee ending, Ben. In Black Mirror, a twee ending.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Is that the Netflix influence?
I don't know what it is. It's
the Netflix
influence. The least Black Mirror-y episode of Black Mirror that's ever been made. Yeah. Now, it's not a horrific hour of television.
Good.
But it doesn't hold the Black Mirror up to society in any sort of way. It takes some of the concepts of previous episodes of Black Mirror, specifically the idea of being able to clone someone's psyche.
Brain box. And put it in a machine.
Yeah. Remember the horror of that, where the woman did it to make her assistant?
She exists in that box.
Imagine that, but without the existential horror for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the same at all,
is it?
No,
it's very twee. And imagine a twee ending.
No, it doesn't suit that. But that's not a Black Mirror to society.
No, it's not. It doesn't hold a Black Mirror to society in any way, Ben.
Oh.
It's just it's a story about Miley Cyrus.
I'm okay with that.
It's all right.
Miley Cyrus, good egg.
She seems to be a good egg, yeah.
Yeah, she seems to be. She seems to have made some horrible career decisions. She seems like an alright person.
But that's what it's about.
Yeah, seems a very good version of Jolene, as we discovered last week in the car.
No, I've known about that for a while.
Yeah, I've known about it for a while as well, but for the podcast, Michael.
For the podcast.
Anecdotal.
Yeah, look, it's fine.
Yeah, look.
Not the best series of Black Mirror by any stretch of the imagination.
I wouldn't have thought so.
No, but
it's scraping the bottom of the barrel at this point.
I wouldn't say it's scraping the bottom of the barrel, by the way. Terrible podcasting. I wouldn't say it's scraping the bottom of the barrel. No, let me try that one more time. I wouldn't say it's scraping the bottom of. No, I can't say that.
You wouldn't say it's scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Ben,
is what you wouldn't say.
That's what I wouldn't say. It's definitely not scraping the bottom of the barrel, Ben. Fucking hell, I can't say that. But it's just not that great.
Fair.
It puts a lot of. Look, there's a celebrity. You know this celebrity? Look, here he is. Look at him. He's on the screen.
There is a person of fame.
Yes, you know them. You like them. You watch the show with them. You'll enjoy.
When it's never really needed that. It has quite a strong following that doesn't need stunt casting.
But Ben, perhaps, I mean, it hasn't crashed and burned, but perhaps season 6 of of Black Mirror will rise from the ashes, not unlike a phoenix. Do you see what I've done?
You
see what I've done? So Ben, let's tell a story, right? We recently have formed a little cinema club.
Fuck you.
And we go to the cinema at 10:05 every Wednesday, and we see the latest release in time for the podcast on Sunday. Yes or no, Ben? You just true or false, Ben? Like the High Father questioning Scott Free. True, right? And this Wednesday, you decided you didn't want to come to see The Dark Phoenix.
True.
Exactly, because you have coward's blood.
False.
No, it is. It's true. But Ben, so me and Jim and Shane went to see The Dark Phoenix without you.
Sorry, that was fun, was it?
It was. Look, Ben.
You be honest now.
Look,
I'm
no. I'm gonna. I'll look you in the eye, and I'll tell you the truth. Here's the truth, Ben. Going to see X-Men: The Dark Phoenix. Is it X-Men: Dark Phoenix or
X-Men Dark Phoenix?
X-Men: Dark Phoenix was no better or no worse than not going to see X-Men: The Dark Phoenix.
That's a lie, categorically. I got to keep my life.
That's true.
And I didn't have to watch Sophie Turner try to act.
No. Leave Sophie Turner alone. Hashtag leave Sophie Turner alone. Hashtag cancel Ben.
Hashtag already cancelled. Get over it.
You're not cancelled.
Yeah, I have been cancelled. I don't exist.
You've been
This
cancelled.
is a rerun.
Oh.
This is just cobbled together phrasing from other episodes.
You're bloody holding up a Black Mirror to society here, Ben. You're freaking me out.
I've already been cancelled.
Yeah,
Just recycling me.
It's neither. It was definitely a film. It was a film that was on, and there were people in it, and the things happened.
Was it busy?
The cinema?
In the cinema?
Nah,
it's a Wednesday night.
Wednesday night at 10:10.
In defense of my coward's blood, I was exceptionally tired, and Michael tends to spring it on us that we're going to the cinema at 10:05.
Don't know how, Ben. If it happens 4 times in a row, that's a tradition, and you should just be ready. Be ready to go to the cinema at 10:05 on a Wednesday night. What's this week? I don't know. Is there anything this week? There's probably something.
I'll go this week.
Yeah, your coward's blood. You've recovered from your yellow blood, have you?
I am more than happy not to have gone to Dark Phoenix because it has the worst figures of any X-Men movie and the worst reviews of any X-Men movie ever.
Well, that's the interesting thing, Ben. It is definitely better than X-Men Apocalypse.
Is it?
I am Apocalypse. Yes.
You sure?
Yes, 100%. It is probably better than X-Men The Last Stand.
Ah.
It's definitely better than X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Most things are.
It is not as good as Logan. It is not as good as First Class, which is probably the best X-Men film.
I think so. At this point, we can confidently say strongest X-Men film.
X-Men First Class.
X-Men First Class.
Yeah. I mean, you can't deny the influence and the legacy that the first X-Men film had.
No, but I'm glad they retconned the shit out of it.
Yeah, it doesn't hold up as a great film.
No.
But anyway,
shall
we... Do you want to... There's a lot of leatherware.
Look, I'm more than happy to have
What,
this
would you prefer,
spoiled.
yellow spandex?
And then a couple of movies later, apparently the answer is yes. Yes, we would.
Well,
leather.
but also no. Yellow leather, yeah. Red leather,
yellow leather. Go on, we'll do a full spoilers. So for anyone that hasn't seen the movie and doesn't want to see it, or does want to see it, you can stop now. Probably another 10 minutes. 10.
No, not even.
No, about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
5 minutes. Come back in 5 minutes.
Come back in 5. Look, we'll put a time code.
Look, join us back on the episode How to Kill a Listenership, and we'll see you then. So.
Right. Straight into spoilers. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Well, you've spoiled it for me because I didn't see
Oh,
it,
sorry. Yeah, I forgot. I thought you saw it.
Yeah,
that's how forgettable it was. I forgot that I'd seen it. I thought you'd seen it. It's the story. It's not. You know the story of the Dark Phoenix, Ben. Comic saga spread over years and years.
In space.
Yeah, imagine that, but condensed into 90 minutes, and not really that actually.
So how to butcher something?
Well, you see, it's not offensively bad either. It's just
not good.
It's the Dark Phoenix saga, Ben, would be best spread over 6 or 7 films.
Best of luck to it.
Well, it's not going to happen now, but maybe it'll happen in 15 years.
Get a reboot.
Maybe when they reboot it, and Marvel will do it properly. They don't seem to have learned any lessons from The Last Stand. They even have her dressed the same. Apparently the Dark Phoenix wears a trench coat. What's that about?
Nobody in 2019 wears trench coats.
Except it's set in 1993.
Nobody in 2019.
It is set in 1993, though, you'll remember.
Why did they do that? That's the part that makes me...
They should have just stuck to the
so
60s.
Curious. I never understood why they have to jump so far ahead every time.
Well, if you think about it, Ben, this is set in 1993, and Fassie B looks like Fassie B. And then, in the bloody year 2000, he looks like Sir Ian McKellen.
Which doesn't happen.
When I was a younger man, I used to look like Michael Fassbender. A mere 6 or 7 years ago, in fact, I looked like Michael Fassbender. Now I'm an old Ian McKellen. It's spot on. Ian McKellen.
It's not.
Bang on.
Good effort.
No, it was good. Ben, but I've completely forgot. Ben, look, let's let the listeners in behind the curtain. We've had an audio problem.
We've had a serious audio problem.
I forgot what we were talking about. Yeah, totally unnecessary for that whole skipping through the decades thing that they did. Load of stupidness. Also, it's clearly a film in which a lot of the cast would prefer not to be doing it.
Yeah, I would have figured that at this point.
What's her face? Jennifer Lawrence. Here's a spoiler for you now, Ben. She
Well,
dies.
I was going to guess.
But she bloody dies in the trailer.
Yeah,
You
so
see
not that
the
shocking.
scene.
Yeah.
She spends probably about six minutes blue. The rest of the time she's just Jennifer Lawrence. She's a white woman.
I would have much rather had Rebecca Romaine as...
Well, Rebecca Romaine was a lot less famous and therefore couldn't demand to not be blue.
Oh, it'd be nice though, wouldn't it?
She's yeah.
Look, infinitely superior lady.
Nicholas Hoult also is very rarely blue.
Nicky H.
About a boy.
Yeah.
About
He's done
a beast.
very well for himself.
He's very rarely
from
blue.
those humble beginnings.
I know. He's not very blue though, because they've invented the special thing
Serum
that can
all
make
of a
him-
sudden, so
yeah,
he
that
could
can
do
make him
whatever he
not blue.
wants.
So anyone can be. They're like, oh, Charles. When Charles goes to see, what's her name? Jean Grey. He's like, I can't walk to Eugene. Does she know that? Maybe you have a serum again.
Yeah, maybe you can just inject something in the leg there and,
You bag of shite.
you bag of shite. He turns out to be a real bad egg, I'm betting.
Not
in this
particularly, no.
No,
It turns out he did it all for the good of the X-Men and for Jean. And
Yeah, fuck that though.
Jessica Chastain is completely wasted.
What is she? Is she Lilindra? Is she,
No,
is she our
it's
thing?
nothing that exciting. She's
Oh.
one of the DeBarry.
What's a DeBarry?
DeBarry are... if
Emma
you
DeBarry, noted author of Don't Touch My Hair.
No, DeBarry are a race in X-Men who... They're the race whose home planet was destroyed by the Phoenix, if you remember.
I don't. But,
When she went mental the first time.
okay, I don't remember.
They're shape-shifting aliens, anyway.
Skrulls.
They're very scrully,
Oh,
but they're
but they're not Skrulls.
not Skrulls, but they're very scrully.
Okay.
And
Was Ben Mendelsohn in it?
Ben Mendelsohn was not in it.
Oh, that'd make it much
best
worse, wouldn't
import,
it?
Ben
Yeah.
Mendelsohn. He wasn't in it. No, well, that and racism. But no,
There was racism in it or Mendelsohn?
No, Australia's best export is racism. It's
Yeah,
not.
they're pretty good at
Yeah, look, listen, it is what it is. What was I saying?
that. Look, you were saying it wasn't a great film.
Yeah, it's not amazing. It's not horrible. It's just the visual effects are pretty good. There's an epic battle to try and get across a road. Why did the mutants have a battle to try to cross the road? It's not epic, is what I'm saying. It's pretty generic. There's the classic X-Men movie decision of having generic villains rather than known villains.
Why?
So X-Men.
Give me one.
There's a whippy hair man.
Whip his hair back and forth.
He has dreadlocks, but they're whippy whips.
He whips his
And
hair back and forth. He whips his hair back and forth.
It looks like a Pacific Islander or New Zealander maybe, but he doesn't really have any lines and
For pure diversity.
a
silent minority.
He'll get you with his whippy hair.
He'll whip his hair back and forth.
And there's a lady psychic who has a shaved head, and she's there to kind of cancel out Charles because he's too powerful
Is
otherwise.
she black?
Yes.
Yeah. What is that?
What?
Why are suddenly shave-headed black ladies in everything?
Oh
Since
yeah,
Black
that's
Panther.
true. That's true, actually.
That's three in our recent cinema
That's
watching.
very interesting. She doesn't have a full-on shaved head. She has a very short, kind
Still.
of buzzy haircut.
Still.
Yeah.
That's a weird new thing.
Yeah, the final battle is not horrible. It's pretty entertaining.
Okay.
Actually, the X-Men fight loads of these aliens.
Does Magneto live?
Everybody lives, I think.
Except for...
Mystique dies, and Jean,
What's the
disappears.
emotional reaction there?
When Mystique dies?
Yeah.
No, but in my cinema, I cared.
Yeah.
Jim said he didn't know, but I think he didn't watch the trailers, so he was mildly surprised, but
It's
not
such a delight to go to cinemas with.
not in any way kind of affected. by
That was
it.
the thing I regretted most about not going to the cinema on Wednesdays. I didn't get to see Jim.
Yeah, well, that and your coward's blood.
Yeah. I don't mind the Coward's Blood so much. It's
Look,
pretty
Ben,
good
it's-
survival instinct.
It's not a good film.
No.
It's not a horrible film.
No.
It's a film.
And it features one of the most difficult things you could possibly have in a comic franchise. A big fucking cosmic entity that nobody knows how to control. I thought I'd do that one for you. You've worked hard on that audio problem, so I just thought I'd take
Thanks, Ben.
the pressure off.
Appreciate it.
So, seeing as that you are not a coward filled with blood of yellow quality,
Coward's blood.
Ben,
Can I say your last name? We do, don't we? We kind of say that, don't we?
I'm sure people.
It's just if anyone wants to send us mail, just address it to Ben Coward's Blood Colopy at the Shamber Bug. No, I don't want to give any more.
Yeah, no, you don't want to give any more than that, do you? No. But yeah, because Michael was brave and filled with heroes' red blood, he went along to see that, and I decided that we'd do big, cranky cosmic entities.
Cranky cosmic entities.
Things that fuck up your storylines.
Yeah.
In different comic books. So we're going to take a look at some cosmic entities that are just no good.
You're what?
Just no good.
No, some of them are good.
Some of them are good, but they're complicated things to shove in a story.
Look, especially if your story... X-Men is a really particularly good example of introducing cosmic entities into what up to then had been a very grounded thing.
Yeah.
The X-Men was about racism, Ben, or sexism, or
take a pick,
homophobia, or AIDS, or whatever X-Men is about.
It was a fan of the ism.
Yeah, X-Men was about isms.
Children of the ism.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they're in bloody space and there's massive intergalactic consequences.
Yes.
And they're being dealt with by a man who can shoot a laser from his eye.
Yeah, that's no good.
Now, Ben...
He lacks the skill set to do that.
I know that some people will be upset that I've said it's a laser.
It's not. It's a portal to another dimension.
It's a concussive energy blast.
From another dimension.
Yeah, but it's not a laser.
From another dimension.
Another dimension, another dimension, another dimension. Don't you tell me to get on with it.
Yeah, so we'll say, don't kick me under the fucking thing. You got me right in the shin.
Yeah, I know.
You son of a bitch.
I've got laser targeting on kicking people in the shin.
From another dimension.
Tell us about the cosmic entities.
Phoenix Force being the first one that we're going to take a look at. So the Phoenix Force is a big destructive rebirthing energy force that sweeps across the galaxies. Mm-hmm. Some different races worship it as a god. Others want to contain it. Others want to harness it.
Harness the power for themselves.
But you can't contain no Phoenix Force because the Phoenix Force don't want it. Until it does choose a random woman from the planet Earth to.
Well, she had a lot of potential, you see.
Yes.
Did it choose her to be its host, or did it replace her? Remember?
Well, this is the whole question, Michael. What is the Phoenix Force? Sometimes it's a cranky old bollocks. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's completely benign. Sometimes it really depends on who's writing it. Like all things in comics, Michael, it depends on who's writing it.
Remember when it was in 5 X-Men at the same time?
That's kinky, but I don't know.
The Phoenix 5.
The Phoenix 5.
Are
you making
Phoenix
this
Force
up?
5. I don't remember.
It
was in. No, it wasn't. It was in Cyclops and it was in Cyclops, Storm, Colossus, Magic, and Namor, the Submariner.
What?
Do you remember
He's
this?
A fishman.
Yeah, but they stopped the Phoenix Force from inhabiting, I don't know if it was Jean or Hope or someone, and fractured it into 5 parts, and then it went into each of them, and they became bad blokes, or more bad blokes in the case of Namor.
Yeah, Namor's just
or more bad blokes in the case of Scott Summers, aka Cyclops.
It's interesting that Namor is still a bad bloke. They've just never really tried to redeem that character. Now he's got his deep ocean Avengers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Defenders of the Deep.
Defenders of the Deep.
It's great. But yeah, the Phoenix Force is a weird one. It can't be contained by any one person until it is.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is. And then if it's not in Jean, it's in Quentin Quire, who's another Omega level mutant with a pink mohawk.
Or it's in Rachel Summers.
Or it's in Rachel Summers, the strange clone daughter of Jean Grey. It's a very complicated thing. Occasionally, when you want to do a lot of fan service, it pops up. For example, we have a Wolverine imbued Phoenix Force towards the end of time.
Wolverine, I think, is what you're saying there.
Yeah, that's what I'm. A Wolverine imbued Phoenix Force. It smokes cigars now. No, we have it. It seems to choose Wolverine as a host at one point, and he goes and takes care of Thor in one of the comic book runs as Phoenix Wolverine. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't like it. I think it's lazy writing. I think whenever you want a big scary thing, the Phoenix Force is back.
Phoenix Force is back, Ben. Here it comes.
Oh no. Just a boring concept.
The thing, I totally disagree with you there, Ben.
That's
fine.
That's what a podcast is all about.
One of the interesting things about Marvel's cosmic side is that they gradually built up their kind of cosmic pantheon of weird cosmic things. And are you yawning?
Yeah.
Have you yawned while I'm explaining why I don't think the Phoenix Force is boring? They've gradually built up their pantheon of... I know the spike level. I know the audio level is spiked, but you yawned in the middle of a sentence, you son of a bitch. What was I saying? They built up their pantheon of cosmic entities, and each of them are all-powerful cosmic entities.
For example?
Phoenix Force...
The Celestials,
Galactus,
the
the Living Tribunal, Infinity, Master Chaos, and
Eternity, brother of infinity.
Mistress Order, is it?
Yeah.
What's that called?
I don't know. That would be your kind of thing, though.
Dun, dun, dun. Law and Order.
Produced by Dick Wolf.
Wolfing down those dicks.
Dicks.
What was I saying?
Yeah, they do a much better job than DC ever did.
You think?
With I would reckon so.
Right, go on then.
I would reckon. Well, the whole reason the Eternals exist is because Jack Kirby jumped ship to DC, then jumped back, and he didn't get to finish his fourth world over at DC, so he started the Eternals over at Marvel, and they became the kind of project of the Celestials, and the Celestials are the big armoured beings that were there at the start of time.
MCU fans would be familiar with them, Ben, as the guy who blows up the planet in Guardians of the Galaxy in a flashback, or the head.
The head, nowhere
that they float about in.
It's the head of nowhere. It's very big. First time I've ever seen proper scale given to a Celestial, which was kind of enjoyable to see. It's a very big head.
Very huge head.
Very big creatures. Galactus is a Celestial of some kind?
No.
What is Galactus?
In Marvel Comics?
Yeah.
Galactus, you don't know this?
No.
Is this a setup?
No.
Galactus's real name... it slipped my mind. I'll remember it as I'm speaking. Galactus was the last surviving sentient being from the previous universe that existed before the Big Bang. His universe experienced a big crunch, and he piloted a spaceship into it to try and stop it or learn about it.
Something like that.
So he is essentially the previous universe condensed into one being. And he's the last thing from the previous universe that exists in our universe.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
Isn't it?
That's much more interesting than I would have given Galactus credit for.
Yeah, Galactus is pretty cool. Now, obviously, that is a long after the fact retcon of Galactus's origin.
Obviously.
When he was introduced by...
He's just a devourer of worlds.
Yeah, he was just a big thingy who destroyed worlds for
big
energy.
Phoenix Force, right?
Yeah. And, you spin your wheels there while I look up his name.
Yeah, so anyway, the Eternals came about from that, and the Celestials...
Or he's a big cloud.
Yeah, he's a big cloud. And they retconned that in the comics too, where they said, well, every race perceives him differently.
Galen.
Galen. Well, for the month that's in it, Galen it is. It's Gay Pride Month for anyone listening in the future.
Gay-lactus.
Gay-lactus. Sounds like someone who's very into breast milk as part of their kinky bedroom.
Gay-lactus.
But anyway, what I was going to say was the Celestials are the kind of original beings in the new universe, I guess, post Galen. And they're pretty...
But Marvel retconned that as well.
Oh, okay.
Because then they have the builders.
I can't keep up with
You can't keep up with it.
Can't keep up with it. Yeah, but see, that calls into question the one above all, who's their other big cosmic entity. He's God, basically.
Look, Ben, it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't actually make sense. None of it makes sense. Maybe this is your point.
Maybe this was my point. Maybe you walked into my trap.
Anyway, go on. Talk about Eternals. Who made the Eternals?
The Eternals were made by the Celestials. So the Celestials, it turns out, were a big bunch of World War II Nazis experimenting on people against their wills. They're not, but the same kind of principle. They enjoy fucking around with life, going to different planets, and just experimenting on people without their consent. Vegans wouldn't be too happy with them.
Yeah. # cancel Celestials.
# cancel Celestials. Dirty bloody scientists. And they go to Earth and they have a little tinker around on Earth and they create 3 distinct races. Yeah. They take our very, very ancient ancestors and they mess around with genetic codes. Yeah. Some of them become humans, like us.
Like you.
Some of them become the old deviants.
Like
and
you.
Some of them, like me. And then some of them become Eternals. Some of them become Eternals, like Michael over there. Eternals are physically as close as you can get to being a Celestial without being a Celestial. They are beings of immense power.
Immense power, Ben.
Immense power.
They're all kind of Superman-y.
Yeah, they're all very Superman-y. Peak physical perfection, etc. Mm-hmm. Deviants are the exact opposite. They're right down there at the bottom.
No two deviants look the same.
No two deviants look the same. And right there in the middle is
humans.
Rather interestingly, there have been Eternals on other planets. Thanos is an example of an Eternal. And apparently the running theory on Thanos is he's an Eternal with a deviant gene.
Or a mutant.
If you will.
He's a mutant Eternal.
He's a mutant Eternal, and that's basically why he's so much better than all the other Eternals.
Yeah, he's like
such a big, strong, scary guy.
He's a big, spooky grey man.
What interested me when I was doing the research on this one is very similar to Irish mythology.
Oh, here we go.
Couldn't help it. Sorry.
Go on, here we go.
I'm going to lean into it now. But in Irish mythology, we have 3 different races as well. We've got the Humans.
Like us.
We've got the Fermoy, which are misshapen, evil by nature creatures that live at the bottom of lakes, and things like that. Also known as the Fear Bullock, the Bagmen.
The Bagmen, yeah.
And then you've got the Tuatha Dé Danann, which are a big race of people, not gods.
No.
Big race of genetically perfect people with lots of gifts. So I was like, oh.
Where do they live now,
What
though?
an interesting parallel. They're in Tirnanog.
Yeah, they got kicked out. We won.
Tirnanog.
We got rid of them.
No, they left.
No, we beat them, didn't we?
No, they left.
I thought we beat them with iron.
We tried, but they left.
Why did they leave, though?
I don't know.
Because they were scared of the iron. Iron Man.
Iron Man. I am Iron Man. Yeah, so it's cool. But it was just interesting to see that one. Look, classic Jack Kirby, really. Just running around, tinkering with some stuff.
Look, Jack Kirby did enjoy going and making things too powerful.
Yeah, he was an overbooster.
I don't really ever, Ben, have a problem with very powerful characters. It's just the likes of your Marvels and your DCs, because they insist on a shared universe.
Yeah.
You end up with something like, let's say, Icarus, who's an Eternal, not the Greek character Icarus, although he's based on him. Icarus is an Eternal. So Icarus basically has Superman's powers.
Yes, okay.
And then you can have him doing a team up with Daredevil.
Which doesn't make a lot of sense.
What's Daredevil going to do? Hit him with his little stick?
Yeah, it's never gonna pan out.
Hear him from far away?
That's what I mean. It's too big. Well, Daredevil now has the powers of Heimdall.
He does, yeah.
Which is just random.
Amazing. It's not amazing. He's a god without fear.
He's a god without fear, but like...
I've been reading War of the Realms. War of the Realms is interesting, actually, because they bring in a lot of cosmic
That's what I mean.
Surtur Norse mythology.
It's Jason Aaron, though, isn't it?
It's Jason Aaron.
Yeah, so I have a few things to say about Jason Aaron as well.
Do you?
Jason Aaron loves to create he pulls an El Kirby quite a bit and creates his own big cosmic entities.
Look, Ben, we've been saying this for a few weeks because we saw War of the Realms coming, and it was Jason Aaron's, Jonathan Hickman's, what was Jonathan Hickman's one called? Infinity War?
Infinity War, yeah.
No, it wasn't.
It was round 2 Infinity War.
It wasn't.
The Infinity War round 2.
No, it wasn't. What was it called? Endgame.
No.
The one where all the planets kept smashing into each other and they had to try and stop it. What did it...
Battleworld?
No, Battleworld was the result of it.
God Doom? I don't...
Yeah, but he liked making people powerful.
Yeah, he's look, it's...
and introducing cosmic characters.
Some of the things I enjoyed seeing in that was... Jason Aaron seemed to spend an inordinate amount of time expanding the God universe, the alien God dynamic that was established by the new Thor.
We met the Shi'ar gods.
Yeah, the Shi'ar gods who we'd never seen before, and they were a pair of pricks.
They were good.
Just no good at all. Pair of pricks. One of the things I found most interesting is that it turns out that Mjolnir is an ancient primal force trapped inside a hammer.
Yeah, the first
it's
storm.
The first storm and the great storm, and it's super powerful. And for some reason, Jane Foster and that storm have a real bond.
Yeah.
The Hammer's a big fan of Jane Foster.
Yeah. It's dead now, though.
Is it dead now? What happened?
It got thrown into the sun to kill Mangog.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, Mjolnir was destroyed. That's a shame. That's a shame.
It'll probably come back.
Oh, it will. When Jane Foster most needs it. I really enjoyed that run, but it's interesting to see how we kind of created that for a while, and then every time you assume that you have a pinnacle creation that can't be toppled, for example, Odin, you find out, oh no,
he's actually basically an ant.
Yeah, he's basically an ant compared to the first storm.
Yeah.
And it gets very complicated. That's the problem. You just keep moving the goalposts. Well, with these cranky cosmic entities.
Yeah.
Another great example of that, and I suppose in a different way that they can become kind of complicated and a little bit convoluted, is they can have a different source. So, for example, DC originally had the Spectre.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before.
It's the right hand of God, God's wrath.
He's God's wrath, which is an interesting thing to draw into comics out of nowhere. All of a sudden you have a massively religious, overpowered entity and nobody can question the Spectre. But if he's a religious character, if he's actually God...
God's wrath.
It's a bit messed up, isn't it?
It's odd. It's an odd one, all right.
Yeah.
Because DC, like, let's say Lucifer exists in the DC universe.
He does.
How would Superman do in a fight with Lucifer?
How would he do against any of the Endless?
I know, it's bizarre,
who have been there many, many times.
Yeah.
And many people say, oh, well, they kind of just reference that now and then. Scott Schneider put him directly in Dark Knight's Metal.
Who, Lucifer?
Dream of the Endless. No, Dream of the Endless directly intervenes with Batman and has a conversation with Batman about what's going to happen.
That's like bloody Icarus and Daredevil.
It's even worse than that. Dream is an endless being across the universe. And all of a sudden he's on Earth going, hey Bruce.
Hi Brucey boy.
Hey Brucey boy.
See your...
Heads up, Chief.
In your pajamas there. Ben, you know what introduced cosmic entities well, though? No, all right. Star Trek.
Star Trek. Fuck you.
No, look, I love Star Trek.
Fuck you.
The original Star Trek series, Ben, they loved introducing cosmic entities.
Yeah.
They were always introducing omni-powered cosmic entities.
They were always cranky little baby entities, though.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it was a baby omnipresent. But Q was a great example of how to introduce a cosmic entity.
Is he a cosmic entity, or is he just an alien with too much power?
What's the difference, Ben?
Well, that's a good point.
But he was a great example because he was they work great. Cosmic entities, mad, vague, superpowered cosmic entities, work great as singular beings which aren't explained. They just are.
You don't need an explanation.
Until we started finding out about Q, he was a very compelling character.
Yeah.
But then we learned about his whole civilization and they were all jerks and lost interest.
Did you care? Yeah.
Supernatural as well, when they had the trickster.
Yeah,
The trickster was great at first. Then he became a generic angel.
Yeah, and that was really lazy. It's like, oh, I'm actually an angel pretending to be a Norse god.
And everyone then, every angel was massively powered and invincible and invulnerable.
And all of a sudden...
Until they weren't.
Yeah,
and then another thing came along.
That's a great point. I always remember how powerful Castiel was when he was introduced. He had the big old wings.
Yeah,
and every time you killed one, you could see the scorch marks of the wings in the earth because it took so much energy to do. And then all of a sudden we dropped that because it wasn't in the budget anymore to put those wing scorch marks around every dead angel.
Yeah, because they just kept killing angels all
the
the
because they just used to pickpocket the special blades that all angels carry up their sleeves.
And just stab them.
And apparently human beings can just hold those and...
just stab a man.
Just stab them.
Yeah.
This is the problem with introducing these entities. It's just so complex.
I liked Ego from the MCU film Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Living Planet.
Yeah.
I enjoy any Ego versus Thanos stuff I get to see in the comics. That always makes me quite happy.
We won't see that in the MCU because they're both dead.
They're both dead now.
Yeah.
Both dead now. Don't think I don't know. I've been recently grappling with that concept of whether I even care about the MCU anymore. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
That'll be the last great one. Apparently Black Widow's going to be an origin film.
Yeah.
The current rumour is origin film, which doesn't fill me with joy.
It doesn't fill anyone with joy, does it?
Probably going to get Joss Whedon back on to say that women who can't bear children are monstrous.
Yeah, or do a head scissors on a man.
Or they're just not very good people if they can't have children. I don't know, something awful like that. Joss Whedon, no good. No good.
No, he's alright.
No, he's not. He's really not, apparently. There's been a bit of kerfuffle. Apparently he's a big fan of gaslighting female actresses.
But he's one of my people.
Ginger.
Yeah, an egg with a beard.
An egg with a beard. Yeah, but he's a bad egg with a beard. You're a good egg with a beard.
Oh, thanks, Ben.
Yeah. Apart from when you spring fucking cinema trips at God knows what hour of the evening. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, how do you feel about cosmic entities up there in the space? Do you have any favourite cosmic entities that kind of pop up now and again? Do you have any entities that were ruined for you, similar to the way Michael says Q was very enigmatic in the beginning and then
the trickster
kind of ran out of steam?
But that happens to every cosmic entity.
I know, but I'd like to hear the listeners' favourites.
Oh, the listeners' favourites.
The listeners' favourites.
Fiction is rife with super powerful characters who come a cropper when you learn more about them.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to balance that out. I would argue that Thanos is quite interesting no matter how much you find out about him. But look, that's a lesson for another day. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter. We're still on Twitter.
We're on Twitter, yeah. We do occasionally do a tweet.
We're on YouTube if you want to take a look at some video content. You can get in touch with us on our new website, shamrobyup.com. You can get in touch with us on Instagram directly if you feel like it. You can always take part in any discussions we have. We have a new fan question Friday, which seems to be getting livelier and livelier. So jump on, let us know your opinion, let us know how you're doing. If you haven't had enough of us for this week, we dropped our new podcast, Collecting Issues, last Wednesday, so you can give that a listen.
What did we talk about?
We talked about Descender from Image Comics.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Pick that up and give it a read before you listen. But if you haven't had enough of our lovely voices, you can go find more of us there.
Yeah, tell them about next week's episode.
Next week's episode of Collecting Issues will be filmed next Sunday, and it's going to be on Mr. Miracle, the Tom King, Mitch.
My friend Tom King.
Garrett, not your friend Tom King. This is going to be a whole podcast of just him going, my friend Tom King.
It's going to be brilliant.
But we're taking a look at Mr. Miracle, the 12-issue series. This is different from the other two that we've done because it's very in-depth. It's a limited series. It's finished.
It's over.
So you can pick this one up, give it a whole read, and that's it. You won't feel left out at all. So let us know what you think. Let us know down below. If you have any ideas for upcoming episodes or if there's any topics that you would like to hear covered, do send them in to us. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, guys. We're gasping for some help. Okay, everybody. Bye.
Bye.